Thank you for joining us for this overview of the 2020-2021 random validation process for programs administered by the Federal Program Compliance Division at the Texas Education Agency. During this overview section of the presentation, we will discuss the major process changes to the LEA selection process, do an in-depth discussion of Part 1, a description of Part 1.1, which is a desk review, and preview Part 2 of the random validation process. First, the major changes from last year's process. The big change is that we have streamlined the entire process, both in terms of scope and in time frame. We have scaled back the number of LEAs that are involved, as well as the number of program requirements that are being checked. We have also consolidated the calendar so that all of the programs are being reviewed within the same time frame. We've already mentioned that there will be fewer LEAs. Let's talk a little bit about the actual selection process. First, to select the LEAs, 4 LEAs will be randomly chosen from each region to participate in a two-part process. That'll be 80 LEAs total. LEAs that were selected for random validation in the 2019-2020 school year may still be selected in 2020-2021 as long as it's for a different program. LEAs that are part of a shared services arrangement are eligible for selection. TEA staff will conduct a third part, or Part 1.1, as a desk review based on the LEA's Part 1 submissions. The programs that are included in this year's random validation process are Title I Part A, Title I Part C, Title I Part D, Title II Part A, Title IV Part A, Private Nonprofit Equitable Services, and Title VIII Unsafe School Choice option. Each of these programs will only include 1 or 2 program requirements in the validation process this year. We mentioned that the timeline for validations has been consolidated. Instead of the colorful but complicated calendar we had last year, we have a single timeline that all of our program validations will follow. A copy of the timeline is available on our website. Part 1 for all programs will run from October 19th, when LEAs will receive their initial notification, through November 6th. Part 1.1, which is the desk review by TEA staff based on Part 1 submissions, will occur between November and February. Part 2 of the validation process, notifications will go out on November 16th, and final results will be made available to those LEAs on March 26th of 2021. In Part 1 of the random validation process, all LEAs that are selected will submit the completed random validation report, Part 1, via a Qualtrics survey without any documentation attached. The format to the questions that will be asked are similar to the program implementation questions that LEAs are accustomed to seeing on the compliance reports. Part 1.1 will consist of TEA program managers conducting a desk review of the LEA responses to the online survey that was conducted in Part 1. In Part 2 of the random validation process, each of the 80 LEAs that are participating will be randomly assigned one program and will be asked to submit current year supporting documentation for that program through the ESA Reports application on Teal.